bw'amateeka era ne ku luno yavuddeyo n'ekobaani lye bayise protection of sovereignty bill nga balimba bannayuganda n'obawuddisa nti etteeka lino ekigendererwa kyakulaba nti baprotectinga independence ya Uganda, naye mu butuufu ekigendererwa kyabwe kisookera ddala kulaba nti ekibiina kyaffe kino bakisaanyaawo. Bwe twagenda mu kulonda baali bamanyi nti kati bwe baganye NUP okufuna esente ze amateeka gezikiriza NUP okufuna okuva mu consolidated fund, nti ekibiina tekigenda kubeera na capacity y'okulwaninga campaign. Naye bannaffe abali mu diaspora ne basalawo ne bakola omulimu gw'amaanyi ne basupportinga campaign, era nsaba tubakubire mu ngalo. Ekyo ne kibanyiiza nnyo era ne baddayo ku drawing board kati ne bakomawo n'etteeka lino. Etteeka kimu ku bugendererwa by'etteeka lino kwe kulaba nti omunnayuganda abeera bweru wa Uganda kati mu tteeka eryo bajja kuba bamulaba ng'omugwira etteeka bwe liyitamu. Tekitegeeza ate naawe ow'oluganda oba maama wo bataata we, omwana wo bw'aba akolera Dubai oba America n'akusindikira omutwalo n'akusindikira emitwalo 5, era naawe bajja kuba bakuclassifyinga ng'oyo akolera abagwira ate mu bumenyi bw'amateeka. Kiba kitegeeza nti naawe omusomesa asomesa mu ssomero ate ng'essomero eryo lifuna support kuva ebweru w'eggwanga nti oba ofuuse agent w'abagwira, ate abagwira bataagaliza Uganda. Kyekitegeeza kiba kitegeeza nti bw'oba musawo ng'oweereza mu ddwaliro erifuna support okuva bweru wa Uganda, nti naawe oli agent w'abagwira ate abataagaliza Uganda. Nti oli kayungirizi waabo abagwira abataagaliza Uganda. Kiba kitegeeza ate ekirala nti bw'obeera ne muganda wo ng'abeera mu America n'akusindikira sente nti omuyambe kuzimba ennyumba ye ey'ewaka, nti olina okufuna permission okufuna sente ezo okuva mu Ministry of Internal Affairs. Mwe abantu ababeera mu Uganda ne kati abantu bakuba enduulu nti abagenda kufuna ID ku NIRA osooka kukwata mu nsawo, si bwe kiri? Ate kati bw'oba ogenda kufuna clearance ya $4 million kiba kitegeeza nti hafu zigenda kusigalawa eri. So bino byonna bigenderedde okwongera kunyigiriza abannayuganda n'okukontrolinga buli kimu kye bakola nga bw'anakyemalira bwe butera okukola mu nsi zonna ne mu byafaayo. Abannayuganda kino bwe tutavaayo ne tukiwakanya ne tukiremesa, kiba kitegeeza tugenda kuba tubawadde omwagaanyo era n'okuleeta ebirala eby'ekisirisuru ebitambulira makubo ngaago. Bayinza n'okuvaayo ne bagamba nti buli munnayuganda abeere ng'ayambala yunifoomu ya yero, ate ne lifuuka etteeka. Naye kati tulina omukisa buli omu waali, bw'oba oli munnamawulire soma ku biiro eno oyigirize abannayuganda bagitegeere kiki kyetegeeza ku buli munnayuganda. Naawe omunnayuganda oli eyo bw'omala kutegeera biiro eno, teekako pressure eyeetaagisa ku mubaka wa palamenti ne gavumenti okulaba nti etteeka lino tuliremesa ne litayita, kubanga tebimu kalungi konna. Excuse gye batera kukozesa bagamba nti bagezaako kunyweza ebyokwerinda mu ggwanga, naddala ebikwatagana ne sente, kubanga esente abantu bayinza ozikozesa kukola obumenyi bw'amateeka. Naye Uganda erina amateeka agawera ate nga gali sufficient. Waliwo amateeka agafuga esente ziyingira eggwanga, naddala sente bwe zibanga ziri za bumenyi bw'amateeka. Waliwo gye bayita anti-money laundering, waliwo ne institution namba bagiyita Financial Intelligence Authority ng'emirimu eyo yegitambuza. Waliwo etteeka erigaana okusupportinga terrorism and terrorism funding. So amateeka ageetaagisa weegali, naye lino lyo yadde balwadde erinnya eddungi terimu kalungi konna era ekigendererwa kulaba nti bongera kunyigiriza Abannayuganda. N'olwekyo tusaba buli muntu yenna alina platform okwenyigira mu mulanga guno, tuwakanye etteeka lino kubanga tebimu kalungi konna lyakwongera kunyigiriza Abannayuganda. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. It's now my honor and privilege to invite our Deputy President in charge of Western Uganda to come and give her remarks. Thank you.
Mwebale Mnonga Council, a people power, our power. The President of National Unity Platform, the members of Parliament, the NUP leadership, and all of us present here. I have a heavy heart that I want to share with you, even as we live in this Uganda. You know, at times when we are preaching the gospel of change, we tend to be regarded as if we are not really serious. But when calamity befalls our friends, then they run to us. I would like to share with you all, if you're non-responsive as we are sharing the message of change, please stomach your pain. We have continuously seen how the law is applied selectively. And when those people are the other side and they are not affected, they feel all is well until it catches up with them and they are like, oh, you were right. I felt so sad that my brother Waiswam Fumbiro was denied bail. And there are people who laughed at it. And I said, where has humanity gone? I still feel so sad for my sister Nandutu, even when she's told that she's there alone. When she was elevated to the ministerial post, she felt all was well. Friends, I have been to jail and I know how it feels to be there. I think wherever she is, she feels so sad.
From wherever you are, the NRM criminal enterprise, like it has become, never runs short of evil schemes. Its latest evil scheme is now called the Protection of Sovereignty Bill. Beautifully named, but motivated by evil intentions. It is very clear that their main target is crippling NUP, because the regime in the previous election, having ensured that the NUP does not get its entitlement from the National Consolidated Fund, was shocked that the members of NUP in the diaspora were able to fund the campaign to its logical conclusion, for which we are very grateful to our members in the diaspora. So they went back to the drawing board and have now come up with an evil scheme called the Protection of Sovereignty Bill. We want to invite all the people of Uganda to pay keen attention to this evil scheme, resist it, and stop it. And all of us can play different roles in ensuring that that is done. This bill has far-reaching effects in addition to crippling NUP, in addition, because one of the things that it intends to do is to identify Ugandans in the diaspora as foreigners. Can you imagine? A departure from the constitution, that your children who have gone to work in Abu Dhabi, in Qatar, your children who are in America and in other parts of the world, when that bill, and if in the unfortunate event that that bill becomes law, they will be considered foreigners. And by implication, if your son or daughter who is on Cheyo, Uganda having failed to give him or her an opportunity to work in Uganda, sends you money and you receive it in Uganda, you are considered an agent of a foreigner. That is how ridiculous and sad that law is. So people should not look at it as just a legislation that is intended to deal with politicians, illegitimate as that would be, but it has far-reaching effects. It also means that if you are working with a school that receives support and funding from a person who is not a Ugandan or a Ugandan based abroad, that you classify as an agent of a foreigner. That if you work in a hospital and the hospital somehow receives support or funding from an NGO or from an individual or an organization that is not a Ugandan organization, that you classify as an agent of foreigners. And mind you, Uganda already has sufficient legal framework to deal with illicit inflow of money. There are laws about money laundering, there are laws about financing of terrorism and things of that nature. But it is very clear that this scheme now has nothing to do with national security, but they are only using national security as an excuse to further control the citizens. And typical of all dictatorships, they thrive on controlling citizens. They now control what you say, they control what you think, they control what you write. We have people who have been rotting in jail. Our brother Marema is in jail because of a post that he allegedly made on TikTok. So now that phase of controlling what you say, what you think, what you teach in class has been completed. Now they want to control what you earn. And having finished that, if they are not stopped, they will now want to control what you dress. They may even come up with a uniform that all citizens must put on, a uniform of yellow or any other, because that is a form of control to reduce citizens into subjects who are not able to flourish or prosper on their own except with the permission of the dictatorship. That the dictatorship should be able to say this one should flourish, this one shouldn't. And that's how dictatorships world over operate. And when they come to parliament, they want to tell a lie that they are benchmarking on Western jurisdictions. But they forget that those jurisdictions, they are control mechanisms that contain the excesses of the state in terms of due process and protection of private property. Now, they are saying that for you, once you receive that support, if your brother is building a house in Uganda and sends you money of a certain amount to help him supervise that house, that to access that money, you must get permission from the minister. Do you know what that means? You all know what happens in those public offices when you go to get any help. It means that half of that money will remain in those offices. Because the criminal enterprise has stolen the taxes, the taxes have not been enough. Now they even want to steal the remainder, the money that remains from what they have taxed from you. So we are here, first of all, to condemn in the strongest possible terms that scheme labeled as protection of sovereignty right, of sovereignty bill. We want to call upon the people of Uganda to reject and resist that evil scheme. We want to call upon people with platforms, the media houses, to break down this bill for people of Uganda to understand it very well. Because now they are disguising it as something that is intended to protect the sovereignty of our country. Yet they are the ones that have auctioned the sovereignty of Uganda to lenders in China and elsewhere. But they are now trying to deceive that they are protecting the sovereignty of Ugandans. We want to call upon everyone with the platform, people in churches, to explain this law, the implication it has on ordinary citizens, that the ordinary citizens are equipped with sufficient information to resist and stop it. We want to call upon citizens to petition their members of parliament and call them out to stand up and stop this evil scheme. And those that are able to petition other international organizations to do so. And so that all of us can stand in solidarity and stop this mechanism that is intended to further make Uganda a police state where the regime is able to control what you think, what you do, what you earn, what you eat, and what you dress. It has no good intention at all, and the lies and deception that is presented as an intention to protect the sovereignty of Uganda should be dismissed with the contempt that they deserve. Mufunze mu Uganda, ekibiina gavumenti y'NRM